Well, one rising Canadian tennis star is out early at the U.S. Open, but several other players from Canada are still live in the action. So joining us live this morning with the latest is Lukas Weese from The Athletic. Lucas, good to talk to you this morning. Mboko, that wrist situation, we kind of knew going in it was a little dicey, and she acknowledged post-match just how problematic it was.
Well, thanks for having me on, Nick. Yeah, for Mboko, her wrist was taped up prior to the match, and you could tell that it really hampered her during her first round match against Barbara Krejcikova, where her serve just didn't have that same pop and efficiency as it did en route to her Canadian Open title in Montreal. So for Mboko, just a lot of learning from this match, and I think she'll definitely take a lot from it going forward.
Yeah, the momentum she was on was looking good, but again, injuries really, in any sport really, can hamper you. Let's talk about Leylah, who of course, came up against Rebecca Marino in the first round, and we knew a Canadian was going to go out there, but Leylah was looking really solid in that match.
Yeah, only dropped 3 games in that match. And Leylah Fernandez loves the U.S. Open crowd. Of course, she made the final there in 2021 and really feeds off that crowd's energy. And she has a winnable match tomorrow against Elsa Jacquemot of France. It's their first meeting between each other, and I think Leylah has a really good chance to win that match. And it could potentially set up, Nick, a third-round match against world #1 Aryna Sabalenka. Now, Leylah will be in top, but don't be surprised if the Canadian pushes Sabalenka in that match.
Yeah, she's been playing some great tennis this season, that's for sure. And, of course, you don't want to get too far beyond. You only go one round at a time. But nevertheless, she's definitely playing well. Let's talk about the men's side of the draw. Lucas, what are you liking with the Canadian men so far in New York?
Really liking Gabriel Diallo. He won in 4 sets yesterday, and he's someone, too, that really enjoys New York. Last year, he had a breakthrough win there against Arthur Weese in 5 sets at court 17. It was an electric atmosphere, and he's someone that really enjoys the raucous energy of the crowd. It's very similar to his college tennis career when he played at the University of Kentucky. Now, Diallo is in Jannik Sinner's part of the draw. He could have to face Jack Draper in the 3rd round should Diallo advance. But I do think that Diallo is someone, look, he's young. He's playing with nothing to lose, and he has a big, aggressive game that could really bother some of these top men's opponents in the draw. Yeah,
Felix has had kind of an up and down, season as well, Lucas. What about Auger-Aliassime at this point?
Yeah, with Felix, it's just about the consistency, week to week. Felix is someone that's had deep runs at big tournaments, but he just hasn't been able to put those results together. He is in a tough position here in Jannik Sinner's part of the draw, of course. If Felix and Sinner were to meet, it would be a rematch of their battle in Cincinnati, where Sinner just trounced the Canadian in straight sets. So I think for Felix, it's a difficult draw, but you never know. Hopefully he can rekindle some of that previous magic.
And, of course, El Chapo's playing today as well. Who's he playing, Lucas?
Yeah, Denis Shapovalov is someone that just loves, just the New York crowd, New York energy. And hopefully he's someone that can just, get back to some of that aggressive style of play that got him, to deeper runs in this tournament. So for Denis, he won earlier this year in Los Cabos. Hopefully he can rekindle some of that magic.
Lucas, I know with all these Canadians, doing – depending on which one, relatively well, reasonably well. What's the talk in New York right now about like the state of Canadian tennis, where it's at? This is the last slam of the year, the sort of last chance for glory, as it were.
Yeah, look, the expectations are always high, and it was set by Bianca Andreescu in 2019 when she won the U.S. Open, and of course there have been great results after that, most notably Leylah Fernandez making the final. So expectations are high, of course. I think a lot of people were looking for Victoria Mboko to maybe have a bit of a run after winning in Montreal. She had a lot of crowd support at Louis Armstrong Stadium yesterday, but wasn't meant to be. But maybe Gabriel Diallo, who knows, Nick? Maybe he might be the one to have a deep run here.
I like the look of his game, that's for sure, Lucas. I think we're on the same page there. That's Lukas Weese with The Athletic. Lucas, always enjoyed talking tennis with you. Thanks so much.